You already know what it is. It's your boys, Brick City's finest, JD Williams. We got Dave in the building, No Country. We doing another edition of this. You know what number this one is right here?
Six Tizzle.
Really? Okay, we up on 16. The sweet 16
16.
joint. I missed the quinceañera, but it's all right.
Oh.
We good. We good. We doing it right now. I'm appreciating it. We here. We glad y'all joining us again. We got another show where y'all see we building on this. We growing on this, and we gonna get it right. Tonight's show should be, as we do. Y'all know we like to keep everything pretty, tight and talk about what we like to talk about the way we like to talk about it. We got a couple things we're gonna touch on. We're gonna touch on young boy coming through tonight, E Money Bags. E Mari got this thing. We're gonna introduce y'all to him. We're gonna talk about this little thing that's going on with the wave that Drake and Beyonce might be riding. And we also had another topic which I can't recall right now, but we're gonna start off on something that's a little bit more tight right now, a little bit heavier, a little bit, more gravitas to it. Something's going on obviously in the world right now. They just overturned Roe versus Wade. I think it was a 49-year-old decision.
50,
yeah. So something like that. But obviously, for people, just to give you the basis of it, Roe versus Wade gave women the federal protection of an abortion. You know what I'm saying? So that just means that states couldn't do certain things that the government wouldn't allow. Now, what happened is that they've overturned that. So now all of the power is going over to everyone's particular state. Obviously, we know some states ain't having it. Some states is, a little more liberal. It's not a lot of those. And the cutoff is 15 weeks everywhere, federally. So
some of them, the real thing about it is, I mean, as much as it is the time, they don't have any exemptions for things like rape or incest, or something that was unplanned, ectopic pregnancies where the mother and the fetus could pass away. Anything that would be, medically prudent for, someone to have that procedure done is in those states that abandoned it is illegal. And now it's going to be, it's going to be some perilous shit right now because a lot of people are, displaced in that they don't have these services in their state. So now, the estimated time for, someone who lives in a state that might need an abortion, like on some like life-saving shit. Now you got to factor in maybe like an average of 4 hours to get, like if you're coming from Texas, you got to drive, or you got to go to the airport or something to get something like that done. It's just compacting, people's freedoms and civil liberties. I mean, let's be real. Everybody don't necessarily believe in it on like a philosophical level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure that I feel like, that's something I could say I believe in. If you can find a different
abortion
way,
or
abortion,
non-abortion, okay,
abortion, like if you could find a different way, and because that ain't the kid's fault, but at the same time, I do understand that there's circumstances that's beyond people's control, and this is something that, let's put it like this, before you get into the ideological shit of it. Right. This is the first time a constitutional right has ever been repealed in history. You know what I'm saying? Like that's heavy, bro.
Well, it only came in a little while ago, and it's not really constitutional. So
it's the 14th Amendment, B. That's what they affected.
That's an amendment. You know what I'm saying? It's an amendment. That means that it wasn't there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It was amended into.
Saying that you saying that you realize the 13th Amendment and all that other shit, it was the same thing. These amendments to the Constitution still apply as constitutional rights once they're amended to it. So that's why they're added. That's why they're added later on. That's the Second Amendment on down to the however many amendments. So either way, this is something that was guaranteed a constitution. Well,
see, I think that's where people go into the interpretation of it, because abortions, I mean, I don't know, slavery and prison and things like that, like are, specifically and widely covered. Abortion is not mentioned in the Constitution.
They one amendment apart. Well, if it wasn't, then this wouldn't mean nothing. So Phil was like, it's all right.
No, I'm just saying, like, I understand. Look, I understand the broad thing. Like,
crazy for nothing, bro. Like, this is something that was they fought really hard. Like, there's a documentary out now called The Janes about this group of women who had to do some radical underground shit 50 years, 51, 52 years ago, before this became precedent, to make it so you had to offer this as a medical service in every state in the United States, because it's not just a philosophical thing. So, whatever the definition of it was, whatever the determination, the medical termination of a pregnancy for whatever reason was amended to the Constitution to say you as a state do not have a right to restrict women from having this procedure done, even if you fundamentally disagree with it, because it's something that's beyond what you read in a book or how you feel in your heart. It's a public health thing. So, whatever the definition of it is, the overturning of this precedent means that now there are literally there's 13 states, this state and Texas included, that had what's known as trigger laws active, which meant they set up some shit probably years ago to say as soon as this decision was overturned, immediately laws were enacted. So now, not only if you're performing an abortion in that state, you can be arrested, but if you are providing information to people on behalf of that shit, you can be prosecuted, you can be persecuted. It's some crazy, weird, dystopian shit. So, to me, it's like a whole lot of other rights that they trying to take away, and then your boy, fucking Thomas, the cooneriest coon that's ever cooned, made some statement in the shit. Basically, Stacks on the Boards brings a good point. Some of these states, because of their stance, even restrict shit like birth control, like access to birth control. Like, we not talking about some small shit that's like, opinion, abortion, shmortion. Like, we talking about some real shit that's going to affect people that are important to us, because, this is something that you should be able to do. Like it's the same thing as saying, hey, man, if you get shot because you were committing a crime, you don't deserve medical treatment. Like, that philosophically, that's kind of the same shit, B. Like, because, people are against abortion for shit that don't have nothing to do with, maybe it's just medically best for the situation, or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't think you should be doing that shit like willy-nilly, but you shouldn't. The procedure exists, and it's something that could save somebody's life at some point. And the fact that it's, yeah, exactly. So, the fact that it's being legislated against at this point at that level, especially when you're talking about a Supreme Court that currently has two guys who were alleged sexual assaulters, one of whom is married to somebody who was directly involved with the January 6th shit. You got somebody who a woman who was pretty much in a cult on some Stepford Wife, Handmaid's Tale shit in the Supreme Court. And now you also have the first Black Supreme Court justice coming on, and the last, stronghold of that conservative majority kind of going away. So once, the new one comes in, then it's 5-4. So if we look at what they're doing and realize this topic is not just about Roe versus Wade, because this week they also basically made it so, with the ruling that they struck down from New York, they basically made it so not only in New York can you open carry a gun, it's pretty much struck down that precedent across the country. So now we got Wild Wild West again.
We going to the next topic, or we staying?
No. We still on Supreme Court, because it's them. They doing it just like the that one thing they also passed this week that is kind of like breaking down the barrier between church and state. Like, this is the Supreme Court. Like, that's what this whole thing is like, it's a lot of shit that they pumping out that's changing the face of reality for us right now. You know what I'm saying? And they got an agenda, obviously, just like, realize a couple of them seats were stolen by the last two Republican presidents. And they ganked Obama's pick. Plus RBG was supposed to retire, or it was was encouraged strongly to retire, and she didn't. So, like, people don't think about how much the Supreme Court affects the laws of this land. You know, a lot of this shit that we out there protesting for and fighting for, it goes across their desk, and they set the precedent for whether that shit can be, you know, legislative or not. And we also got to think the freedoms that affect women who need abortions, that also connects voting rights. They fucking with that. They fucking with, you know, our religious freedoms. Like they slowly whittling shit down to something that people like us ain't gonna like, man. We gotta be aware of this shit, be like, we gotta really understand what the fuck's going on, man. It's a crazy time, man. And if y'all have any apprehension about voting, yeah, it's a bullshit scam. It's fucked up, whatever. But my nigga, we don't get this situation if we putting our shit out there trying to make some kind of change, bro. Like, because if we not going to take up arms and go out there and do some cool type shit, then we got to use what we got, and voting is part of that, B. Not talking about president. Fuck that shit. But we talking about at the levels where these senators and these congressmen that are making these kind of decisions, we got the power to move them motherfuckers in and out, my nigga. Like, we gotta just let people know this shit ain't no bullshit, man. It's they should have never gave these niggas gavels. They and I worked around judges in my career because I've done a lot of municipal shit. Yo, they be bugging, bro. Like, they got a mentality of like, they're called judges. They work their whole lives to be known as something that in regular human society's definition is like above the average person. So you saying you a judge, that means you got the moral compass and the decisiveness to make decisions for the rest of us that are supposed to be better for the rest of society. So you got to think these 9 cats in this position, they thinking about this shit like we have the fate of this country in our hands. And these decisions are affecting that, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mean to get ranty and shit, but it's some real shit. It's fucked up. It affects people like us because we the minorities, even though it's more us than them. When you talk about these kinds of laws, even if it don't affect you directly, you got to think the more they peel away from that bottom layer, they come after the marginalized. Guess who falls into that category? We them too. So we gotta look at, even if it's not something we believe in, even if it's not something we affected by personally, we still gotta look at this shit as what it is. It's spooky times, man. Like, get your shit together. Go vote. Go read up on this shit. We gotta make sure that, like, you know, we armed with knowledge and other shit too. You know, that's all my spill on it. Honestly.
There you go. Y'all heard Dave. He done gave y'all a rundown. Roe versus Wade overturned. Watch your back. Watch your front. Watch your private parts. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do our thing. All right. Moving on.
Yep.
Next story. Like we were saying, like another big law that got kind of overturned, or actually what was a precedent in New York this week, or wherever that was. You know, I mean, I don't know how widespread that is.
New York.
Yeah, there you go. Supreme Court opens path to more guns in public. So pretty soon, it's more than likely you'll be able to, you know, open carry again, or at least conceal carry. It'll be easier to own a gun, have a gun. Basically, like they said, if we want to break it back to the Wild Wild West, then I guess, you know, this is something that, you know, applies also. I guess how I feel about this whole situation is, I mean, this is one of my things. I always, and I could be as irresponsible. I can be honest with myself about my own irresponsibility, but I can understand. I can still give everybody else the credence to say that everybody has their own. They're responsible for themselves. You know, like, yeah, you're supposed to train somebody. We can teach somebody. You don't give somebody a gun or a car or anything without giving them lessons. However, you know, like, I remember when I first read in the beginning of the driver's manual, driving is a privilege. I'm like, how? Because if I learned how to build a car, you're gonna tell me that I couldn't drive it. Yes, I understand there got to be regulations, and I'm not supposed to be speeding down the highway. However, I have the intelligence to make something happen, whatever it is. And you're gonna tell me that that's not that it's a privilege? No, it's something that I actually. So there's this thing where I feel like, yeah, there's a limit to, you know, not only what is a privilege and what is a right, but there's a limit to how much you have a right to something, and there's a limit to how much something could be privileged, you know. So there's a scale on that. So when it comes to having a gun, anybody, I believe you have a right to. However, there's a privilege, there's a responsibility that comes with knowing, you know, how to do it, how to have the respect. It's the same thing, and then it goes into this whole thing. Like, we could go through our history. We could go all the way back to swords and arrows. You know, it was a certain way that people who had those things, those particular weapons, they had to certain way they had to carry themselves, certain way they had to behave, certain, you know, criteria, certain etiquette that they had, you know. And there's a certain respect that comes with just owning that. You know, when two soldiers see each other, they could either be in the same platoon, they could be in different branches, they could be in different on different countries, but they understand each other's training. They respect the other one, because I feel like you have this and I have that. That's why a lot of people say when regular people be walking around with guns, you get a certain type of respect. You know what I'm saying? Especially from people who are quote unquote trained. You know, they look at you like, oh, well, because, and this is one of the main things that you can say to anybody who's ever had a serious run-in with cops, and you've seen somebody really holding their own. What's the first thing that anybody who really ready to get it in with cops say? Put that motherfucking gun down, put that badge down, and let's get it on. But that wouldn't be what we were saying if we both had guns. It wouldn't be no put your gun down. It'd be you put your gun down. Well, you put your gun down. All right, then, so what we gonna do? And so there's that balance. Yeah, there's that balance. And it's funny how this comes on the end of like the whole defund the police thing. And now it's like, all right, you know, you made the cops all uncomfortable. Not that they got defunded necessarily, but made them uncomfortable. And now y'all want to get regular motherfuckers guns. That's crazy.
Look,
which I'm with it though. I'm with it. Just to sum it all up, I'm with it. I'm with the shits.
I'm like this. Stupid games, stupid prizes. Like, to me, it's kind of fucked up in the response to all of these shootings and all of these issues with the wrong people getting guns, to then say, okay, let's make sure everybody can get guns so they can have, because it all rests on this fucking make-believe theory that the NRA and gun lobby has made up, that there's this good guy with a gun that's going to stop the shit. So we couple that with how we all been fucking like brainwashed to think that, you know, we all could fucking be Quick Draw McGraw in the heat of the moment. And you got this bugged out situation where everybody's out here, niggas that can't even fucking handle guns. Like that one thing I sent you where it's the guy in the fucking, he's in the shooting range and I guess he's like an instructor. And this is the guy who's teaching everybody else, and he's talking with the gun like this, and the gun goes off, blah, and it slaps him in his face. And like, These are the people, this is that same kind of contingent of people that are the gun nuts, that are the gun right advocates.
Yeah, but they the ones that had the guns. They been had the guns. The nuts been had the guns.
That's my point. They
the
not
nuts
even
been had the guns. It's the regular people that don't even want to touch guns. We don't need guns. We're not trying to have no.
That's what I'm saying. Guns. It's just like,
and now it's to the point where you gotta have one, because even just you as a regular person, like, let's check this out. I was just talking to my brother yesterday, and you know, down here in Atlanta, like where that guy shot up the Asian massage parlors 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's a massage parlor, and it's a massage parlor right across the street. And right next to one of those massage parlors, like literally right almost attached to it, is one of the most popular strip clubs in Atlanta. He did this like in the daytime, but it's armed guards like right there in front. So he walked out that door and walked across the street and shot those people. If the dudes, they had to see him, but they probably just didn't know what he was doing. If they would have knew, if he was walking across the street, guns out, running across. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that it's not, I mean, and this is another thing, because I think it's like people like, man, oh, well, just because the law is there, anybody and everybody's going to have a gun. No, I mean, I don't think that's it. I think actually even retroactively, people that got caught with a gun when they shouldn't have went to jail won't go to jail now. You know, it's a lot of other things that go into being able to carry. Like, bro, you telling me that somebody, I know a lot of niggas with guns, with illegal guns. They should not have guns. Not because they're on parole, not because they're on probation. They just not licensed. They're not licensed to have the gun. They go to the range all the time. They buy guns. They do all types of stuff, but they have no permits. They have no licenses, right? Now, if you get caught, consequences. Handle the consequences. What I'm saying is that right now, with the policy of open carry and how things might be retrofitted, now a lot of people won't be persecuted as much for having guns when they shouldn't have been persecuted so much in the first place. Like, I mean, it's just gonna make it more commonplace, man, because
if
people need
it like that. Look, if you look at it like that, you gotta really understand the microcosm of where we came from. We from really one of the only places in the country where guns and gun laws are as strict as we are. So our contingent of people is going to be, like you said, they people who are mostly law-abiding, but they got guns and they're not licensed and they're responsible. But that realize that's the anomaly. That's not the normal. The normal is motherfuckers like out here or like in Texas or like in Florida where you might be sitting somewhere baking in 100-degree weather for 4 months out of the year, and you sitting on Reddit, indoctrinating yourself and radicalizing yourself to go and do some of these heinous ass shootings. So
you ain't talking about us. You talking about somebody else doing that.
Of course. Okay, right. I'm just saying. There's a lot.
But the open carry, whatever, they was already going to get a gun. They was already going to get
I know that, but what I'm saying is the open carry thing makes it so even more of these people who don't need to have guns in public,
they was going to have them anyway. That's what I'm saying. Now I feel like, all right, I feel like the people you talking about
different. Look, it's easy to say that from the perspective of I left Jersey 18 years ago. I lived and have lived in other places where we ain't grow up with motherfuckers. You didn't go to Top's Diner and niggas had fucking Glocks on their waist out in the open. And if they did, they was cops or they was people who you knew out loud was supposed to have them guns.
Right.
You didn't go to the movies and niggas is sitting there openly carrying. And I mean, I'm talking about like motherfuckers got, go so crazy as they got like, straight up.
Right. I didn't grow up that way. But when I started getting around other places, when I got to other places and I saw people doing it and I saw how they lived, it didn't make it for me where it's like it's not possible. It might not work for us, but
we still thinking of a time prior to there being this precedent of you could take your gun anywhere.
Anybody. I'm not thinking about that time. I'm thinking about motherfuckers right now. I'm not thinking about
open carry is though. Open carry is you can have a goddamn loaded, ready to clap pistol anywhere in public, no matter what. Even if a motherfucker,
it don't mean you can have it anywhere. It means that you can have it exposed on your body. You can't walk into certain place anywhere with the gun. It just means that you can have it exposed on your body.
You'll be subject to the rules of the place that says no guns allowed.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why motherfucking less than when I was coming back from Jersey last time, somebody fucking clapped off and a gun fell out and went off in Atlanta airport. Because Georgia had an open carry thing before this whole shit.
Yeah.
Like Texas. Texas got an open carry, motherfuckers. The mass shootings went up. Like it's math involved, B. Like these where I understand the right and the privilege to own or carry a gun, there's a reason why you don't need to have a gun exposed, open, and ready to shoot at every fucking given instance. Like we know
every
but that's what I'm saying. Like, we not saying like you said, we not saying that, but we know there's a huge contingent of people that are. And this means that they got the green light to go bug the fuck out. And we know this for a fact. This is
I don't see it like I mean I can like I said, I mean I think it's a balance thing. Like there's some people like you said, and there's some people probably like, and there's some people like I'm saying. I mean, maybe you think it's more one and I think it's more the other. However, I think we're talking about the same two groups of people, two different groups of people. I think I just have more of a belief in the system going this way, and you just see it more going that way. But I think we see the same. I don't
have no belief in the system at all because the system ain't made to protect motherfuckers like me. So when I see that a mandate that allows people who will harm somebody like me on general or you or my kids or my wife or whatever,
but they
on
saying you and
general,
your wife and your kids can have guns too.
of course we can too.
All right,
but
so
that don't lessen the danger.
it
Like,
don't
there's no guns
maximize
in
it
my
either.
house now.
It
There's
do
no
lessen the
guns.
danger.
Hold
Actually,
on.
it does lessen the danger,
Hold
bro.
on.
Actually, it does.
Hold on. There's no guns in my house right now.
Cool.
That means there's not a chance nobody in my house could die.
Will get shot by their own gun. Yes, nobody will get shot by a gun because y'all don't have a gun in the house.
Exactly.
However,
but 50% reduce the risk of gun death, because gun death is 50%. You might shoot yourself, and 50% somebody else might shoot you. Well, I'm still here, and I'm saying open carry is crazy. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to have your guns. I'm gonna get me some guns one of these days when I feel like it's necessary, super necessary. But for the time being, I think that shit is a lot, and I think it gives leeway to people who have bad intentions to make those bad intentions, more accessible to commit. And we seeing it every day. Like, we got more mass shootings now than we ever did, and kids can go in a fucking, a Walmart and cop a gun.
It's pertinent to what we was talking about.
Yeah.
A bullet came through my wall
Today? In your house now?
Here it is, right next to me. Came through the wall, bro. Big, this is a big shit too. This is heavy. This is some big shit. So,
I mean, look,
what I'm saying to your point is,
yeah,
like I said, me having a gun or not having a gun in the house wouldn't have prevented that, wouldn't have stopped that, wouldn't make me feel better or worse about it. However, just the fact that it's out there, like I said, everything should be able to be even and fair. So if a cop can come knock on my door with a gun on his hip, I should be able to answer my door with a gun in my hand. That's how I feel.
I mean, that's wonderful. Like, ideologically,
but I can't step over the threshold with that gun.
But I mean, even now
I can't.
You even talking about that scenario in a hypothetical way means you are saying, I'm gonna go to the door with every reason in the world for a cop who was already probably going to shoot me to shoot me. No. And now I get to go outside and let that nigga shoot me on the porch instead of in my house.
All right, bro. Like I said, I think we just looking at the same thing from. I mean, obviously it's two different angles, but like I said, I think we distributing our weight. I think I'm putting more weight on this side, and you're putting more weight on that side. That's all.
Of course, I'm putting weight on what I see and how the ideology of this country is based on not protecting motherfuckers like us. And whereas shit like this and 2A in itself, we loophole ourselves into protection because we were ratified at some point as actual citizens and legal citizens of this country. But I also look at it like these motherfuckers are using the same piece of paper to say it's legal for police to kill us and not get punished and have qualified immunity. So I can't trust them they put it like this. The Constitution wasn't written for us in the first place, and they're not changing it for us now. So the benefit we get from it is incidental completely. Because those same ways they could change that, they showing me personally, if not nobody else, that they could go in there and fuck with that at any given time to benefit them and not us. And that gives me pause and that gives me worry, because no matter how free it is or open carry it is, we still gonna be the ones that get persecuted. You live in a fantasy world if you think more of us walking around with guns on our hip is gonna mean less of us gonna get shot or less of us gonna be.
I agree with you on that. But I think, like, look, that's the same thing. Because look, even statistically saying, if more people have access to guns and there's more guns out and around and available, more people going to get shot by accident too. Like it's gonna be a shift in everything. However, there will be also a shift in other statistics too, like motherfuckers not trying dumb shit because somebody might see them before they get too far, or somebody doing something else. And so there's gonna be these things, or at least situations will get stopped faster once they start. Sometimes, you know, shit is people not gonna act up on the bus. You think it's gonna be somebody on the bus acting crazy when they know everybody on the bus got a gun?
I mean, it's either that or everybody on the bus gonna start shooting. Nigga,
bam,
like,
that's
you know
it.
how it is.
That's it. That's it. So
that's it.
While everything is fair, everything is fair. This is America.
Right. When you're living in the city, low end theory. Everything is fair when you're living in the city.
This is America.
Only song I skipped.
Yo, first episode, and this could actually bring us into the next thing we get there. First episode of The Wire, first scene. They pull up on these kids at a dice game where somebody got shot, and they asked the kid, like, what happened? And the kid was like, yo, it's this one kid that played dice with us every day. And he always steal the money once the pot get to a certain level. But we just chase him down and we just beat his ass and we take the money back. And the dude was like, well, damn, what happened today? Somebody just shot his ass today. And he was like, well, if he do that every day, why do y'all let him play? And he was like, because this America.
Right.
Like,
I mean, look. I can feel that, and ideologically, I could wish it was different. But you know, the game is a game, and it's rigged. That's how I feel.
All day is rigged. So if you're gonna give me another piece, I'm gonna use that. Yes, sir. So
perfect segue.
Right on into it. The Wire. If y'all don't know, we're about to tell y'all. The Wire is in its 20th year anniversary. We're celebrating. We doing it's a lot of interviews going on, a lot of behind the scenes, little documentaries, docu-series is going on right now. Method Man is hosted one by HBO for HBO. It's in I think it's 8 parts if I'm not mistaken. I think they're up to number 3 or number 4. This one happened to feature some of my sound bites. It's titled Snoop Felicia Pearson, but they've already done I forgot the other two. Who's the other 2 people they did? You remember?
I know they did give me a minute because
we watched them and we just blanking out. But however, they're up to number 3 right now, or 3 or number 4. Yeah, number 4.
I think they did Dominic West already.
Yeah, I know I heard Dom already. And so check it out if y'all get a chance. It's going on right now. However, like I said, we got a little sound bite right here that HBO sent me personally. They just snipped something, sent it to us. We're gonna play it for y'all. This is right now HBO. The Wire docuseries 20-year anniversary. Hosted by Method Man.
Wait a minute.
Got you.
I'm sorry. I what are we supposed to?
It's all good. Well,
I mean, we don't technical difficulties. We don't have the clip prepared at the moment. We should have, but
it didn't go down. Okay.
Yeah, we could post the link on the comments at some other point.
Yep. So anyway, like we said, 20th year anniversary. It's gonna be a lot more stuff going down. I'm pretty sure all the rest of this year things are gonna be going down. And let me see, maybe I can just hook this up for you guys really quickly. And here we go.
The 3rd year. The dudes that was really on that corner, I had to befriend those dudes for real. Just so that they wouldn't be across the street yelling, you know, and it was chill. You know, they even was like, yo, wear my chain. I was like, I can't wear the chain because the character ain't really like that, but I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, all right, well, if you need anything, it was the city show. It was all about them anyway.
You know? So it was really talking about, you know, they get really into the nitty gritty of you know, how, you know, we dealt with the city, how we dealt with the people, how we dealt with our characters and things like that. It's really interesting. Good companion pieces to a bunch of the other stuff that's out there. All the pieces matter, and you know, a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, man, that's what's going on right now. I know you and Stacks on the board. I know that y'all caught up a little bit later on the Wire. But once y'all was in, y'all was in.
Yeah, we binged it out, and it was amazing, man. It was like, to me, you know, my all-time favorite. I always got to give Breaking Bad that. It just is for so many reasons, but Wire is 1A because I would quote the Breaking Bad is the best written like fictional crime drama show that I've ever seen, and then The Wire as like the most important and the most realistic and the most like that shit. Even the people who front on the second season, like y'all, and just say you ain't get it, just say you ain't understand.
Yeah.
Like that shit is so relevant and integral to how the rest of the show plays out. And I even saw somewhere where people were talking shit about the fifth season. I'm like, nah, y'all don't even get it, and it's fine. Just say you don't get it. Just say you don't get it.
I think that with your distinction is that thing that I've been complaining about with certain media for the last 2-3 years. Some shit is for entertainment, but some shit don't have no fun in it. Like, or the fun level is mad subdued to where it's like, I like it, but I'm not having fun watching this shit. You know,
it's educational. It's like you're not watching it. I love documentaries. I don't watch some shit to have fun.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Or true crime. I don't watch that shit to have fun. I watch it because I want to be informed about something I might not have had a perspective on, or I'm just like really enthralled by having that information. And like, to me, that is the kind of show that the Wire is. You know, it's that kind of shit. It's like, damn, like.
That's why I feel like when people put Breaking Bad on that level, I'm like, yeah, because Breaking Bad was a fun show. I mean, everything else matches The Wire. The acting is superb. You know what I'm saying? Like they had their writers doing their thing. Everything else was on, but the Breaking Bad had that element of excitement that was meant to be fun. The Wire.
You could never see Breaking Bad and it doesn't like affect your life. I think if you are a person who is a TV person, a buff, or entertainment buff, or you're someone who is super heavy into like social political commentary, or just really some anthropological deep shit, that's the kind of show The Wire is. That's the separation for me. Like I feel like if somebody came to me and was like, yo, the Breaking Bad wasn't really my wave, I wasn't fucking with it, I'd be like, you bugging out, but whatever. If they said that shit about The Wire, I'm like, nah, you're missing it, and it's better that you just let it go than to try to disparage the shit. Because
that's one thing I would think that, like, and that's another thing I think that somebody saying, that they tried to watch Breaking Bad and this is what it was, and what they thought of it, you can get the idea what type of person it was. But somebody that's just like, nah, I ain't even trying to, and then when I did try to watch it, it wasn't that. I think more about that person than they know. Like you wasn't doing that. Take me back to your boy Pablo talking all that smack. Pablo Schreiber, I'm gonna stay on his ass, bro. You can't be coming through calling us low budget, bro.
I just watched the joint. I just watched the joint with him and Jessica Biel, the Candy joint, and he was in that playing like, I guess, some dude that. And it was funny because like that show, you could tell it had a budget, but it ain't look like it was some, they shot that shit in some fucking suburb in Texas, and it's like, my nigga. And then he was on Orange Is the New Black, and I'm like, y'all ain't even as sophisticated as the old Oz sets, so you gotta fucking tamper down, my nigga. You gotta call me,
bruh. But so The Wire, it is what it is. It's enduring. I'm glad that it's still around. And like you said, like people who didn't get it, that's one of the reasons why I think it sticks around a lot too, because it takes a while for people to catch on. So they just stay in it, and then by the time somebody caught on, it's a whole new group of people that's just getting it right now or just catching up to it. So shout out to all the other shows that's considered the greatest, what I'm saying, Breaking Bad and Sopranos and whatnot, but I don't think nobody's gonna be able to see the relevance that The Wire is gonna have until America changes into something else.
In the real world, I agree. Yeah, on some real world shit, I agree. For sure.
Oh. All right, rolling along.
So
rolling.
Right quick, man. We got, we've been doing interviews a lot lately, and we still kind of getting some in the bag. We got one exciting coming up. Not this episode, but down the line.
Yes, sir.
With an artist that I personally not just love on some music shit, but love because he is my child. And not just that, but like this dude is on some prodigious shit, man. Like it's amazing because we didn't like sit there with them and like go over the studio stuff. He was the first one we had recording. He was
Right.
featured on the Co-op album.
Right.
But now he's ventured off into his own thing, self-taught. He produces.
Yeah,
he writes
nephew.
shit. He rhymes. He sings. He mixes his own shit. He mixes my shit when I rock it. It's my son, man. I Lost Maury. He's got a huge following right now out there on the internet. He's got a single popping off, man. He got label interest. He's got a lot of people looking at him. I know that she's the one. We the parents, so he records in the crib. He uses some of our old studio equipment, so the lineage is passed down. You know what I'm saying?
Sir. Yes, sir.
And this shit is a banger, man. Like he don't even make the kind of music that cats our age really fuck with, but like he makes that transcendent, like it's cracking for his generation, for our generation. And right now he got a single that's coming out July 1st. I know that she's the one. He's a genre bender, dude. I can't even describe some of his shit. Like some of his pop, some of his hip hop, some of it's
Well, I mean, like
R&B,
produce, so
rock,
he produce.
hard rap. Yeah, he's a producer.
He heavy producer, so he just make probably what just comes to him, at the time,
and he produced, wrote, and performed and mixed this song right here. So when it drops, go pre-save it right now. It's up on Spotify, and
if you our age, put your kids up on it.
You definitely put your kids up on it. I would quicker say that than try to be old and be like, this is the new. Like I love his shit. Like I love his shit, but he's my kid. So part of it is being genuinely impressed, and part of it is really good music. But I also don't think we gonna go out and vibe to that the way somebody his age would. He's 20
for sure.
So he's got a definite lane in his own thing.
What?
But yeah, man, go pre-save it. I Lost Maury. I know that she's the one. The link is right down here. You can't click it, but it's easy. ilostmaury.lnk.to. Go fuck with it.
Support the nephew.
Come fuck with you.
Yes. You already know.
Play with me. Don't play with me.
All right. We got another one. What's
right.
rolling to?
So from here, we're gonna hit up that. So lately, I guess. Okay, so the last episode we discussed the victory of light skinned niggas the night of the Golden State Warriors.
Cheers! Shout out, Chef Curry.
Same night, Drake dropped his new album. What is it called? Honestly, never mind. Some shit like that. And
so we gotta thank me later.
Look, man,
take care. What'd you say this one was called? Honestly, what? Never mind.
Honestly, never mind.
Okay.
Like, his album titles are like album titles are like the things that your girl or your wife texts you when y'all fighting.
Don't start.
Like Don't real start. Talk. I'm sorry, man.
Take care.
Exactly. I know you're reading this, but I don't. What was that one? I don't know. If you're reading this, it's too late. Like it's real saucy, and it's either way.
Sassy.
Either way. So the consensus on the album. I can't say it was a consensus. There was very mixed feelings about it.
Right.
Some people are just Drake stans and they rock with it, and they were like, "Yo, this is some new hot shit." Other people were like, "Yo, this is terrible. I don't like it." The more discerning and objective people I had seen comment on it was like, "Yo, this nigga's doing a club album. He's making house music."
Yep.
And kind of like revitalizing it for this energy. I mean, for this generation. And then I want to say 3-4 days ago, maybe earlier this week, Beyonce dropped her new single,
which is CeCe Peniston.
Which is Robin S. Show Me Love.
Robin S. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah,
Robin S. Show Me Love.
And it's a show me. It's a blatant
and I was thinking about you
and proud club music homage. I'm gonna say because we grew up on this shit. It's Jersey Club. I'm talking about if you come from we come from in the
Yeah.
era we come from, mid to
Yeah.
late 90s, you heard
Only
the
other people I
exact
know
song.
that did, only other people I know that did club like us, that I met that dude club like us, was Baltimore. That's the only other
Chicago.
place I ever been that I know that do
Baltimore,
that shit like
Chicago.
us.
Those are two places. Baltimore, Chicago,
Oh
Jersey.
yeah, well
Of
yeah,
course,
Chicago did used to do it. Yeah, well
New York had
Detroit.
the spinoff.
Detroit. I had cousins in Detroit. I don't know about Chicago.
Right. Chicago, I know a lot of cats online from Chicago, a lot of cats online from the DMV, but I know the DMV also has
It had
Go-Go.
Go-Go. Yeah, they was more than
So yeah,
Go-Go.
that's like a little like mix. But Chicago had the stepping music, but Jersey Club was really more unsung from when I was like, you know, talking to cats in the community, like online communities. But you know, so yeah, so Beyonce and Drake right now both are kind of like leading this resurgence apparently of that sound, that that kind of sound where, you know, cats in our era used to go and get way too drunk and maybe do some and make bad decisions and shit. And now, like, you know, with the influencer kind of vibe that both of those artists have, you got people like bugging out over Drake shit, like losing their shit, really spending way too much time discussing it. And then I was reading an article about a couple people, because you know how people go, the hive goes beyond. Oh, one other thing. Shout out to the homie Symbolic One, S1, for y'all that don't know. That's you know, somebody that me and Money have known since our career back in music. He produced, I believe, not just the Beyonce single, but that whole album with a partner of his that he's working with. So you know, when that drops, it's Renaissance, July 29th. Go fuck with that.
Congrats. Yeah.
Shout out, salutes. But with that whole vibe kind of coming back, you know, and then her having the kind of influence she had. I read an article about 3 people who like they fucking quit their jobs. Because the song, she's like, the first thing she says is like, I quit my job. I'm about to go, you know, get motivated. These people is kind of like she's speaking to, it's like the Great Resignation theme song. She's like, yo, go find some happiness. Go find some motivation. Go shake off your bullshit and, you know, show me love or whatever.
Right.
But people are, you know how it is with this new shit. They'll take something that is time honored. A whole generation of people grew up on it, act like it's brand new. And I think that's just kind of what I see happening now. I think Beyonce and Drake are both so savvy and fucking great at self-promotion that they understand, hey, we in an era where you can kind of like remake and redo and flip and turn shit around and put it out, and the generation that don't know nothing about it is going to treat it like it's new. The old people who used to fuck with it is going to come back to it, and now you just, you know, expanding that
right.
fan base, that visibility.
That. And for anybody talking about anybody out there saying Puffy in their mind, I don't want to hear that shit, because we knew that was Diana Ross. We knew it was Ron Isley. We knew where all of those songs was before they came back. We didn't say, oh, Biggie just came out with the dopest song I ever heard in my life. No, these motherfuckers act like this shit is brand new. They talking about the Juice WRLD song was his and it wasn't Sting's. Y'all wilding. Come on now. So anyway,
that's the problem too.
Continue.
No, but no, you're right. It's this lack of knowledge of the history of it that makes it so, you know, y'all new motherfuckers is like, yo, oh shit, this is some new revolutionary shit. And it's like, we used to party to this shit. Like, we used to go to the club, and even if you didn't want to hear this shit, you wanted to holler at some girls, you was gonna move when Show Me Love came on. If you got too deep into it and you got into the little more grimy spots, you getting to beat that bitch with a bat or shake that ass. Or, you know what I'm saying? Dick control, that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Follow Me. That's a classic. That's something that's been around since
our graduation years. No, as a matter of fact, I'm lying. Follow Me came out in 92, I think.
Bro, I think that's
92, 93.
Further, man. That's an old.
I remember the first summer I heard it was the summer after I got out of 8th grade. That was that summer when Follow Me was going crazy. That summer after 8th grade.
First time I heard Follow Me, I have a sister and a bunch of cousins who was 10 years older than me. So they was like out in the clubs in the 80s, mid 80s, you know, Latin Quarters era, Club Sensation era, Zanzibar era, that kind of shit. And they would get club mixtapes. So the first time I heard Follow Me was probably, I was in 8th grade. I don't remember when, like 91. Probably heard Follow Me maybe 2 years before that. So like 6th, 7th grade year.
It didn't come out to then. Wait, we gotta look that up because I'm telling you,
I don't know. I don't remember. It was old though. I mean, I was young the first time I heard.
That's what I'm saying. It had to be that. It was that summer we graduated 8th grade. That was when it was everywhere. Because that was the first time I heard a man that I thought was a woman. That was the first time I was confused.
I always knew that was a dude.
I couldn't tell. I was like, what is going on here? I thought that was a woman. That sounded like the church lady. So I'm saying it came out 91, 92. Maybe 90, maybe even 90.
Damn it.
Somewhere between 90 and 92. Well, I know before 92. Anyways, I'm saying 90, 91.
Nope, you're right. 92.
92? Yeah, yep. So it was that summer. Yeah, so
that's about 92. Yeah, you're right. 8th grade. Yeah, all that shit blended into me. Like I said, I thought it was like 7th or 6th. Like, because that was all middle school, and I was like moving schools. And I know the first time I heard it was on a mixtape from my sister. But my boy that I used to hang with at the time, he was a club music nigga too. Before I hung out with you, my man Malik was the club nigga. And when we first used to go get like, you know, doo-wop mixtapes and Ron G mixtapes, I go get that. And he would go get the club joint.
Right.
And that's where I first heard Follow Me. But yeah, that club sound, man, like, bro, that shit it was a whole wave. It was a whole thing that it wasn't even mainstream though. That's the crazy part about this now. And
yeah, it's still underground. True.
Also, the part that's savvy about those Drake and Beyonce already as big as they are, looking to reinvent themselves, and they're like, hey, let's take this shit that we know going to do. Like I said before, it's going to hook the new kids who never heard of it before and be like, oh shit, what's this? This is new. And then it's going to get the cats like us who literally grew up on this shit. So the nostalgia bug is going to be like, oh shit. Because I haven't listened to the Drake joint because as a rule, that's not a thing I do. But I did listen to the Beyonce joint because sometimes her shit just be inescapable. And I was like, yo, this is cool. Like this.
Right. It is what it is. It's a remake. But look, this is another thing. Like, she's a singer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously, we can say Drake is rap, pop, whatever we want to say. But, you know, like I said, even me, I've learned to kind of break out it, let him be in that mold where it's like, yo, just let the nigga make whatever he want to make. That's it. So I don't even judge him like a rapper. I don't even try. I mean, I've been stopped, but I don't even judge him like a rapper no more. So Beyonce, I think she's free to do, you know, whatever type of music she want. I'm gonna give it a shot. And then, like I said, right now at this point, you know, homeboy been out for what, like 10 years and some change, 15 years or something like that.
Boy, yeah, he been out for a minute.
He's been out for a minute. So yeah, since Jordan, since like right when Jordan was born. So it's like, so he's in there now, and it's like, you know, learn to grow with the person. You see what they doing, and like now he to the point where it's like, like you said, like, oh, and this is another thing, you know, been this whole Afro beats wave for like the last couple years. So they can't just do that. They can't jack that. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta find a way to get into the dance, get people into the dance mood too. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you know what? Honestly, the progression was already there, at least for Beyonce, because
definitely.
When we, I mean, it was already in her music, but we watched, and you know, I gotta let you know, it might be low key, but it's high key now. Stacks on the Boards is a Hive member, like legit. like we've been to both On the Run shows. If you walk in my house downstairs right now, the fucking lookbook from the On the Run 2 tour is on the table. She got like a fucking $400 goddamn tour jacket downstairs in the closet, seeing them. Like, it's real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna hear all of this shit.
And you know what? Like, not talking to money, I would never think she was a big Beyonce fan. You'd think she'd be like, nah, I ain't even interested in that.
No, let me tell you what it is. Let me tell you, of course it was like that. But what happened was respect had to be paid due, because when she came out with the Formation joint, when she came out with the Super Bowl shit, I also found another level of respect for her. Just on some, like, you know how people are always making that Mike Jack comparison and shit.
Right, yeah.
Talent, performance, success.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody closer to her.
Nigga,
Stop.
it been that way. It been that
I
way
know,
for
I
a
know.
minute.
That's my point. That's my point. So whenever anybody else bring
Yeah.
up some crazy left field shit like Chris Brown, y'all bugging. Y'all
Nah.
bugging. It's her. Like I seen her live. She don't like. I seen her do a 2-hour show, dancing full dance and singing full throat and not slowing down. And she got like thousands of people.
Yeah, but see, you talking about the performance aspect.
Oh no, not that.
Michael Jackson had love. Beyonce
No,
is the person with the closest love like that, where people love her. Like, so that's a whole different thing people can't touch. Chris Brown could perform his ass off. He's great. He's great at that shit, but people don't love that nigga like they love nobody.
Both times we went to their tour, right? We went to On the Run 1 and we went to On the Run 2. We went in the fucking stadium. We went in the Eagle Stadium in Philly the first time. And the second time we went in the fucking Cowboy Stadium in Dallas, that big one.
I remember y'all was telling me,
my nigga, both times packed to capacity. We not talking about little shows. We not talking about little venues and little theaters. We talking about football stadiums.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers are packed out. Everybody in that motherfucker is losing their shit. The best experience I think we had though was the second one because we had the cheap seats, right? So we was literally up sitting next to Jesus at the very top of the fucking Cowboy Stadium. Right. All you can see is the screen, right? You can't even see the real people on stage because they're too far away. Right. We up there smoking, niggas is dancing in the fucking. I was like, damn, this is some black ass, some like, yo, these people are coming to this shit like a church fucking.
It is, yeah. You already know. We've been discussed how that shit is,
bro. That shit is crazy. Yeah, and you know, to relate it to this topic, I'm glad if somebody's gonna legitimize that. You know, I wasn't a club nigga. That was you. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't into that shit. But of course, with hindsight, the cultural relevance and the love that you have for that era and nostalgia, it brings it up for you. Right. So for me, while I'm not a club dude, I love the fact that somebody with the legitimacy of a Beyonce or even a Drake can bring that attention to something that we could then turn around and on a platform like this, we can say, hey, yo, I know you fuck with the new Beyonce. I know you fuck with the new Drake. Bro, it's a whole roster of Jersey shit that we came up on that I could expose you to now and further give you backlog on how on the lineage of Jersey, on the impact of Jersey in the music industry and on pop culture in general, because you know you don't get to this point where the two biggest artists in urban music are putting out house music without the era we lived through. Right. And it's not just hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's what happened. And like, that goes to the whole, it's an amalgamation. So that's crazy where this guy and her kind of, meeting at this crossroads. Right. It's kind of funny because it started where he kind of had a little tension with the husband, and now he in competition. Yeah. Now he in competition with the wife.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
You're a goofball, man. Like, you know what? You said it perfect, man. I always felt like, I used to bitch about him and be annoyed by him in the beginning, but I always felt like they categorized him wrong. I think if they'd have gave him more of a wide berth of like, yo, he's a pop artist, he's a singer, whatever, and then he came with the bars like he had, then you get a reverse. Then you get people who are impressed with whatever pop sensibility.
I want to say this, but I don't want it to come off.
Oh shit, this nigga got bars like Frank Ocean.
Well, look, I don't want it to come off disrespectful, but Drake is a female Doja Cat.
Yeah. But
Doja Cat could be a female Drake. She could be a female
Doja Cat is gonna get the legitimacy as a rapper Drake has thus far had to fight for, because he was popularized as this kind of like multi-hyphenate genre type of artist. But then when you really got down into it, like I don't really listen to her shit like that, but I know, we were listening to a couple of her joints, and she had a joint that blew up with SZA recently, and she dropped verses, and I was like, oh damn, like this is not like a little whatever. This is like left out. This is like when Left Eye used to drop verses.
Right.
It wasn't like, yo, it was just some old
It's
baby
like, yeah,
steps,
you going.
whatever shit. Like, it's bars in a big ass pop song.
Yeah, she goes.
Like,
she goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what, like you said, I think definitely he was especially, obviously coming in with Cash Money and everything, and probably, helping Wayne with all of his songs back then and everything. So then he just came in, then he had the little niche, like, the light-skinned dude, from Degrassi, and he just rode that wave for a minute, but then it was like, a lot of his most popular songs obviously was gonna be in the LL Cool J vein, you know what I'm saying? Whereas, they lean more, girl thing, and then every now and then he'll just poke the bear, come back with something tough or something like that, just to let people know he was there. But then he'll go all the way left, with a whole song where he just singing and everything, and everybody like, well, what are you doing? And obviously right now, there's another thing too about the whole lyrical thing. Like, who really would he even bother being lyrical for? Because the kids that he listen to right now don't really care that much. They don't care as much as he does. And Drake fans don't even care as much about lyrics as he does. And then the older heads, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard for him to really impress older heads on a consistent basis just off of rapping.
I beg to differ. It depends on who you're talking to.
I'm talking about with substance, though. I'm not talking about the cadence. I'm talking about with the substance, where we like, all right, yo.
I can say this.
And I'm not saying he don't got flows. I ain't saying that.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when you get into the cats who are a lot more into the luxury rap kind of space, the raw space. I mean, even the kind of like, denigration of from the Biggie space, they fucks with him. And I mean, I've even heard I put it like this: most cats that I know who have a respectable knowledge of hip hop got at least one Drake song that it's like, yo, this nigga's going crazy on it. Like, I got at least one. The Scorpion album, he had this song on there that nigga went bad. He went bonkers. And so he got that in there. But again, I think for this specific kind of wave, man, I'm just glad that for everybody black. I'm glad that another subgenre that was overlooked and culturally unappreciated is getting a new light. Beyonce's putting respect on the names of the OGs with her shit.
Robin S. Shout out Robin S.
Creedia, you know what I'm saying? Like, they putting these people on the map. Drake is just still, even though he's kind of my kids call him a wave jacker, that he's still at least exposing
if they notice it, it can't be too much.
Exactly. I'm not even disagreeing.
But you know what? That's not even necessarily, like, obviously that's the formula.
That's
the formula.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and the waves, and if that's the case, the waves that are being jacked are at least ones that are worthy of being jacked.
Obviously, because they're getting them. He getting you for him. He jack one of y'all little niggas every 2 years and get away with it. Y'all can't do nothing.
You don't even get away with it. It's not even this blatant. He's not even trying to hide that.
I don't mean get away with it by not getting discovered. I'm talking about he get more money than the person who came in with it. Doing. Drum, let me hold that real quick.
He even made Drum pop and still fucking ran off with his whole shit.
The whole bag. Like he'll get anybody for the weekend. Let me get about 75% of that album real quick. Like, it's like, but that's the thing too. And actually, I mean, it's kind of a tailoring of Dr. Dre's formula. You know what I'm saying? Which is what a lot of people do.
Hove too.
That's what I'm saying. It's a tailoring. Well, it's a tailoring because, like, look, somebody could come with the concept and have it together, then I'll just add on to it. But I think there's a limit to how much direction certain niggas get.
Real talk, of course, at a certain level, but real talk, the music industry is a lot more collaborative than anybody understands. The business of making music is not beholden to this, like, that's an MC thing. That's an old school rap nigga thing where you got to write everything yourself. You got to, the real industry is like, yo, everybody's fucking getting beats from everybody. Everybody's getting verses from everybody.
Ideas, all types of stuff.
Every producer that's big got a camp of producers under them that they pluck beats from, put two things on, boom, that's they beat. You know, vice versa. Every major artist got somebody that's penning either hooks for them or helping them out with verses if they're not writing the whole verse. And it's just
like and to shut it down, we about to get up out of here in a little bit. But I remember I got a story. Back in the day, me and Dave used to be at this studio called Hit City. And that was basically where, when Nelly first came out, that was where him, St. Lunatics, and they whole production team used to hang out. Shout out R.I.P. Luther, man. God bless, bro. Yeah, he passed. I thought I might have told you, but yeah, man. But yeah, them brothers was in there doing it, and we used to just go hang out with them. And like you said, all the collaboration that was going down. I'm trying to remember my man, the DJ with the dreads and the glasses. What was his name again? I don't know why I want to call him Doe, but anyway,
Doe. I think it was Doe.
That's why I want to call him Doe. Yeah,
I think it was Doe.
Yo, but we used to hang out with them. It was three of them. We used to hang with them every day. And like you said, they would not only pass ideas around, or Nelly and the Ticks would come in, or whoever else was there. But then, you know, we might be sitting there and they might just say, hey, Dave might have an idea because he did music, or he might help them work out a beat like by just, you know, something, or even I was there. So yeah, there's a lot of ideas and things that run around in collaboration with and ideas come everywhere in the music industry, everywhere.
For sure.
Yeah. So y'all already know what it is. Yep, this was your boys right here.
Wrap that shit up, beat.
You know what it was, No Country with JD and Dave, where we take a look around the socio-political, economic landscape and say, what the hell is wrong with y'all? But we here this week. We got to let y'all know we're going to be back next week with another one. Interviews coming up soon. Plus, we got more stuff we're going to do. We're going to keep expanding this channel. Y'all know what it is. It's your boy, Brick City's finest, JD Williams. And
Stacks on the board.
And Stacks on the board. Y'all know what we do. We catch y'all next week. 1 to you.